Hey y'all, I'm Carla.
I'm Bubba.
And we are the Sanders Davis families. And we wanted to come on here tonight and talk to you a little bit about why we're here, what our goals are after we have started this YouTube channel, and just to let you know a little bit about us, because we've been getting a few questions, and we often get questions from friends and family. Before anything else, we are grandparents. And we just happen to be grandparents of an amazing little girl who is on the autism spectrum. She's nonverbal autistic, and she's 4 years old. She loves school. She loves Toy Story. She loves the Pixar movie Cars. She loves her family, and she loves her friends, and she loves to have a good time. She loves to go out and do things. So we thought it would be a really cool idea to start videotaping some of that. Well, I'm showing my age now. To start filming some of that so that she will have that to look back on when she's older, and we all will have a beautiful record of her journey on the autism spectrum. So what we want to do is invite you guys to come along with us on that journey to just help make the world a better place for her and for everybody on the spectrum. And not just everybody on the spectrum, you know. I mean, it's like this, you know, having autists in our world makes us better people. And it makes society a better place to live in. And we just wanted to share, you know, her journey and our journey on the ASD spectrum. So, just to tell you a little bit about us, we are Molly's daughter.
Parents.
Start that over. Just to tell you a little bit about us, we are Molly's parents, and Molly is Kairi's mom, and Molly is married to Zach, and Zach is Kairi's dad. So you're going to be seeing not only me and Bubba, but you'll be seeing Molly, you'll be seeing Zach, and you'll be seeing a whole bunch of Kairi, because that little girl is busy, busy, busy. We just want to help build this kind of community of love and support for her and for all of us. And I think, you know, when she was first diagnosed, I was, you know, I was just heartbroken. And I think we went through really grief. We went through all the stages of grief. I mean, I can't speak for you, but I know that, you know, I went through, you know, the anger and the denial and the bargaining. And I think now we have come to a healthier place where we're ready to get back out into the world and enjoy life and enjoy our beautiful grandbaby and share that journey with you guys, and we invite you to come along with us. You know, another thing, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Another thing that you know, I wanted to express is that, you know, we know that as grandparents, we're not going to be around for as long as, you know, her parents are going to be, and we want to make sure that we get a lot of that joy documented on film so that she'll have this great library to look back on in her later years. Not that we're sick or anything like that, but I mean, you know, we're older. So we just feel like this would be, when Kairi is the ripe old age of 50 or 60 or whatever, she will have this to look back on, and hopefully it will give her a whole lot of joy.
Hopefully so.
That's my hope. So, I just wanted to talk about, you know, some of the things that brought us to this point. Like I said, our daughter Molly became pregnant in 2014, late 2014. And, you know, when they told us, I mean, we were just so tickled. And, you know, our first grandbaby, you know, the stuff that you go through. I mean, you're just so excited, and, you know, every chance you get, you're stopping by baby stores and toy stores, and you're looking online at all this cute stuff. And, I mean, we were just super duper excited. And then when Molly got to about her third trimester, she was diagnosed with intrauterine growth restriction. And she had several ultrasounds, and when Kairi was in vitro, she was not doing her practice breathing, she wasn't responding to stimuli, and she had stopped, well, her growth had slowed down to the second percentile.
A bunch.
Yeah, a bunch. So, you know, they became really concerned, and they decided that, you know, they would probably be best if they induced labor. So they did that about 3.5 weeks early. 3.5, 4 weeks early. I don't think it was quite 4 weeks, but it wasn't 3.5 either. So right in between there. And they had told us that she would probably weigh about 3 pounds. Oh, and let me back up a little bit. When they diagnosed her with intrauterine growth restriction, you know, I was really scared, and I've got this amazing group of girlfriends who are all twin moms. And we have this little page that we go on and give each other support and love and advice. And so I remember one night I had gotten on the computer and I went onto this little page, and I was talking about this, and I want to give a shout out to Brooke in Long Island. Brookie, hi. Brookie was my saving grace, and I call her Brookie. Her real name is Brooke. She was my saving grace, though, because she had explained to me that when her twins, before they were born, she was pregnant, she was having, I can't remember exactly what she called it, but one twin was getting all the nutrients and the other twin wasn't getting very many. So what they had done was put her on like Ensure, like the supplemental drink. They had put her on Ensure like 3 times a day. And she suggested that maybe we could do that to put some weight on Kairi before they induced. So I went to the store and I bought all this stuff, and I also got like trail mix and almonds and things like that. And at the time, Molly and Zach were living here at the house with us. So I just followed her around, and I was constantly, you know, with a handful of almonds. Here, eat this, here, eat that. So, okay, now let's go back to where I was before. So Kairi, Molly was in labor. And the doctor came in and she said, you know, the baby's probably going to be about 3 pounds. And I was really nervous and very worried. And lo and behold, she was born and she weighed almost 6 pounds. Mm-hmm. She was a big baby to be a month early. So I felt like maybe we had done some good there. And I'm sure that Molly was really happy that we weren't going to be following her around with almonds and Ensures anymore. So that's kind of Kairi's birth story. And then in her first year, she developed like normally. I mean, did you notice anything?
I just the milk.
Yeah, that's true. She had like a dairy, not a dairy, but a milk intolerance. Molly attempted to breastfeed her, and she just didn't tolerate that at all. And then they switched her to formula and different types of formulas, and they tried everything, and she just didn't tolerate any of it. But, you know, as far as her milestones go, I mean, she was hitting all of her milestones. She babbled, she made eye contact, you know, you would call her name and she would look around until she found you, you know, and she, you know, if you smiled at her, she smiled back at you. She sat up just a little bit early. She was, it was just, you know, just before she was supposed to hit that. She was sitting up. She walked at 12 months, like 2 days before her birthday. She started walking. So, everything was pretty much right on time. She babbled to, like, when we had her in the swing, and she was a little bitty, in this swing, and it had a mobile with butterflies on it, and she would swing and talk to her remember, she would talk to her little butterflies, and she was telling them stories. And then she began to, right after her first birthday, she began to, she just began to seem really spaced out. And it was about that time that we switched her to cow's milk. We switched her to dairy. And I thought maybe it was the dairy. So, I started reading and looking up things, and asking her pediatrician, why does she seem so spaced out? And she seemed really tired all the time. She had dark circles under her eyes, and she just acted like she didn't feel good. She wasn't, like, cranky. She just acted like she didn't have a lot of energy, and it was kind of like she was drugged. So we thought it was, like a food allergy. And we tried, different things, and nothing really seemed to help. And as time went on, she continued to regress more and more. And, as far as the kids were concerned, and when I say kids, I mean Molly and Zach, as far as they were concerned, they didn't know. It was their first baby. But I had already raised 2 babies of my own. You and I raised 2 babies on our own. And we had a little experience. So then she started losing milestones that she gained. And then I started getting really concerned. So I spoke to my neighbor who has an autistic grandson. Amazing family. And I was asking her about it. And she said, I don't really know. You'll have to talk to my daughter about it. But I believe she contacted the state, and it's called TEIS. So I spoke to my daughter and Zach, and we agreed that we were going to contact TEIS, which we did. Mm-hmm. And they came out and they assessed Kairi, and they said that she had a 40% delay in all categories, and they recommended that we take her to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital in Nashville to have her tested for autism. So we were on a waiting list for, well, they said it would be about 6 months, but it ended up being more like 4 months, right? Is that right?
Yeah, maybe so.
And we took her in, and that they diagnosed her, and I thought it sounded funny, they diagnosed her with classic regressive autism. And they just basically said, take her home and love her, and that was about it. So I came home and I started researching, and I started buying books and reading everything I could get my hands on, and about healthy diets, and because she was still, she was having all these digestive problems, and there were a lot of foods that just really just messed with her in some very uncomfortable ways for her. So I was just looking for anything to help her feel better. So we changed her diet, and we put her on a gluten-free, casein-free, soy-free, all organic diet. I started looking at recipes and just relearning how to cook. I'm a Southern woman, so I know how to make soul food. And that was pretty much the opposite of what Kairi needed. So I did a lot of research on that, learned to cook differently, and it seemed to help. And then we found her a new physician in the next county over, and she sees him every 3 months, and he's wonderful, and we're very happy. Not that we didn't like her pediatrician here, but we just felt like we needed to be with a physician that was a little bit more familiar with autism. So that's what we did, and he's wonderful, and we love him. And then let's see, when she turned 3, she was no longer eligible for Tennessee Early Intervention Services, so they transferred her over to our local school board. And she attends developmental preschool here in town, and she loves it. I mean, this little girl, when we pull up to the school, she is jonesing to get out of that car. She is, trying to get in the school building as fast as she can. She absolutely loves it, and she has a wonderful teacher, and that's probably why. So we've been very fortunate that she's in a good school and she's got a good teacher. Stay tuned. We'll see how that goes. But she does enjoy that a lot. And another good thing is that here recently, it seems like she's kind of had this, I call it an awakening, but it just seems like she has, like in the last, I don't know, what would you say, like month?
Couple of months, I guess.
In the last couple of months, she has started babbling a whole lot more, and her eye contact is much better. She's getting into mischief, which I love. She never was before. It just seemed like she never was interested in that. But she's getting into mischief, and she's getting, kind of sassy. And she's even, you've maybe seen in one of our earlier videos where she was waving bye-bye. She had to be prompted, but she was waving bye-bye and saying bye-bye. So we thought that was awesome. So we were really excited about that. And it just seems like we're all kind of waking up. Everybody is waking up at the same time and learning to find joy in life again. And there was something else I wanted to say, and I can't remember what it was. I'll think of it the second I turn the camera off. But anyway, that's where we are now. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. She also goes to physical therapy at a place here in town. She receives occupational therapy, developmental therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy. And it's a wonderful facility called Special Kids here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So we're kind of a bedroom community to Nashville, so just outside of Davidson County. But I guess that's about it. If you have any questions, please don't ever hesitate to ask down in the comments below. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I've done all the talking. So
well, that's fine.
Well, you gotta say something.
Well, I just said something. You got a question to ask, don't hurt to ask. And if you don't ask, you'll never find out. So there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
There we are.
Fair enough. All right. So anyway, guys, thank you. If you have made it this far into this video, we thank you so much, because we are new at this and we really are not sure what we're doing. But we're getting better, and we're gonna, continue to learn about. Well, we're gonna continue to learn about Kairi first and foremost, but we're gonna continue to learn about being creators, and I think it's something that's gonna be a good excuse for us to get up and get going and enjoying this crazy thing that we call life, to borrow. Is that what Prince said? I think that's what Prince said. So anyway, Thank you so much. If you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button down below. And click the little bell icon, because you will get notifications if you do when we post new videos. And please, please don't ever hesitate to leave a comment or ask a question. We are open and we are on this journey together. Thank you so much.